Hi, guys. My name is Confidence Wakarabutla, and welcome back to Legal Podcast SA. It's been a minute, but I'm back, and I'm back with Advocate Stephen Monyela. Guys, take out your dictionaries. Today, we won't be conversing, we'll be articulating ourselves. I'm just going to hand over to him to introduce himself. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thanks yourself.
I'm okay. Thank you so
Yes.
much for accepting my invite to come here. Please tell the viewers, just in brief, where you're from, where you grew up, the kind of, I want my viewers to know the kind of backgrounds these great people come from, in short.
Well, thanks for the invitation. Let me
Very
extend my greetings to the viewers. And before I proceed to say anything, I must say this is coincidentally, so it's a very good day because it's Freedom Day that we're celebrating today. So I hope this is the milestone as we're celebrating our many rights, the right to freedom of expression, to free press. I think it correlates well with what you have established. I
Thank
am
you so
grateful
much.
for the invitation. Well, I am Mulovedi. As you can see, this colors represents my tribe. You understand? I'm very proud of that. I grew up in Mulovedi. I was born and bred there. I'm from a village in Mulovedi called Mudubu.
Okay.
That is where I was born. I schooled there. I attended primary school there called Children Primary School, whereafter I proceeded to a secondary school in Madibing called Matumudiga High School. But it was limited to 3 grades at the time. That was grade 8 until 10. Then I went to Mauda High School where I did the grade 11 and 12.
Okay.
That is in as far as the primary education is concerned. But of course, I'm a proud son of the Balawedi people.
Oh, okay. All the way from my hometown, guys. There by my hometown. There's this famous song that we have. Balobedi ke dikgosi tša monate. Guys, we are the kings and queens of entrepreneurship, I tell you. This is a solid guy. For as long as I was growing up, I've known him as a legal practitioner. So that's the only thing I know about him. So it means he's been practicing for well over 10 years. Please tell us, when do you decide that you are going into the legal field to say, okay, I'm going to university and then now this is what I want to do?
Well, in the first place, I'm a social scientist or a social activist. My activism started way back in my high school days. In fact, from primary, because I've always been a leader there. You know, we used to have student leaders. Presently, you call them prefects.
Okay, yeah.
I was
yeah.
forever a prefect at primary school. I was the one who would ring the bell to signal to other students that hey, it's time to get to the assembly and to go to the classes.
Okay.
It started there. In our days, we used to call it monitor in the case of a male and monitress in the case of a female. And then when I went to high school, the same history repeated itself, albeit under different circumstances. I was elected to the LRC, Learner Representative Council. I led there. All the way up to the university, I've always been occupying such positions. So that was my journey briefly. But coming back to your question, what is it that inspired me to study law? I had 2 options when I went to university
Okay.
because I'm from commercial background. I was doing commercial subjects. So when I got to the...
Accounting.
Yes.
You. That thing is so hard.
Yeah, my matric subjects are accounting, economics, business economics, and mercantile law at the time. I don't know if it's still being offered this day. And of course, at some point, I did what we call commercial mathematics. That was in grade 11.
Okay.
So, but I think they've since been discontinued. I don't know, because curricula do change from time to time. Yeah. So what inspired me to do law, like I said, I'm a social activist. I believe so much in human rights. Given the history of where we come from as a country, one could not stand seeing the oppression that our people have always been subjected to. So that in a way ignited my desire to pursue legal studies. But there was something interesting that happened. Remember when I filled my forms for admission at the university, first option was become accounting. So I got there and then I saw a brochure for LLB. Then I went through the courses. Okay, criminal law, criminal procedure, family law, law of persons. I immediately developed interest. I wanted to know, to go deeper, to understand as to what do these subjects entail. Then I immediately changed
To LLB.
to LLB.
Which university was this?
University of the North, as it was then called, now University of Limpopo.
So, hi, man. My mom graduated from University of... Hey, you've been in the legal field for so long.
Not really. I think our class was the first class that graduated at University of Limpopo. This change happened during our final year of studies when they merged the University of the North at that time, together with Medunsa,
Okay.
the Medical University of South Africa, yeah.
So after graduation, as somebody who wanted to go into accounting, maybe you probably wanted to be a chartered accountant.
Of course. That has been my dream.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after your degree, graduation, what did you do next? What happened next?
I went to school for legal practice, the so-called PLT, in Polokwane at Edu Park.
Okay.
It was a 6 months training. I'm told these days it's 4 months.
Yeah.
It was 6 months. That was in 2005. I went there, and thereafter I served articles at Mahua Incorporated Attorneys. We're very close to this very day.
Maoa.
Yes.
I know Maoa in Zanin.
At some point, one of the most famous attorney in Zanin.
Yeah.
He still is. He's doing very well, and I'm
So,
proud of him. Yeah.
Tell me, before we get to Maoa, how did you get there? Because us as law students, we are having a problem of we don't have what's connection. As for me, in my family, all sides, father, mother, there's no lawyer. I'm the first one who's decided I'm going there. So I don't have any connection. How do you then get Maoa to say immediately after you do your stuff, you are sorted?
You see, I'm the product of my own visions and aspirations.
Okay.
That many times propels me to go to the heights of my wishes. During the university holidays, I used to go to Harvard Magistrate Court, Polokwane Magistrate Court, where I would volunteer as a court interpreter. At some point, I was even given a stipend on a monthly basis. No, I was interpreting. Then I was earning per case that I was interpreting.
Okay.
So there I would have many contacts with lawyers, of course. They would come to court. I would exchange numbers with them. They would like me because I was interpreting in the cases in which they were appearing.
Yes.
So that's why I developed a relationship with a number of lawyers.
Okay.
And then subsequently, when time came for me to serve articles, it wasn't difficult.
It wasn't so difficult.
I just approached his office. He said, no, it's fine. Before even registering for articles, he said, no, it's fine. Just get into the office, learn, go through everything. He would go to courts with me. Yeah, as they say, the rest is history.
So for you to go and volunteer to be a court interpreter, who did you approach?
A prosecutor named Sibasa.
Oh,
Ramtivedi.
my neighbor.
Yes.
Me, I'm connected now. It's my neighbor.
And you know how I
one.
met that guy? I think it was, I don't know if it was his uncle's shop there by Shotong. He used to come there. Very quiet guy, reserved, if you know him.
Yeah.
Then I approached him. I was not used to him at that particular point in time. I said, well, look, it's now school holidays. I would like to have a court exposure in its full sense. He said, no, there's no problem. Come Monday, just go to the bus stop. I'll pick you up. Then that's how our friendship, collegiality, and everything started.
Then that's where you developed your connection. So in this field, we must always be self-starters if we want things to happen.
I would say be a self-starter because sometimes having too much expectations leads to disappointment.
Yeah.
It is often said 1,000 miles journey begins with one step.
True.
Now, where do we start with the first step? It starts with your mind. It starts with your ambitions. It starts with your visions. Before somebody can come along
And
to make
offer
you realize practically your visions. So it has got to start within yourself. You must be your own inspirer. You must inspire yourself. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Guys, I'm learning a lot in just the few minutes we've started, but I cannot let you watch this without letting you know that I'm in the newly renovated Saint Studios in Edenvale. Just come and see for yourself. I can't explain everything here. It's like heaven. Just come and see for yourself. We are still together here with Advocate Stephen Monyela from Bulobedu, Bulodzi, Abu King Monata, okay? Alrighty. So now we finish the articles. We obviously get the admission. What happened? What did you do next?
Well, it's a long story that I'd like to cut short. Post articles, I was not admitted as an attorney. I had to get work from various companies. At some point, I worked for Legal Cost Consultancy, where I worked as a legal advisor.
All right.
And then I went back, I wrote my board exam. First time attempt, I passed it.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, but I did not go for admission
Why?
as an advocate. No, a lot of things happened. At some point, I worked with Jcj attorneys in town, but I was still trying to figure out whether I really want to go to full swing practice. Remember, I had everything with me. I had admission. I was not lacking anything.
Yeah.
And then in what was that? Somewhere 2011, they advertised for a post of a legal advisor at the Greater Zan municipality.
Okay.
I took up the post. And then 2 years down the line, I applied for a legal boss post. I was appointed there as the legal manager. And then I worked for 5 years. And then during that time, in 2012, I was admitted as an advocate of the High Court of South Africa here in Pretoria, the Pretoria High Court.
That's
So I
when you had decided, now this is what I want to do.
Yeah, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And after that, I think in 2017, I went to full swing practice.
Okay, so what I'm gathering here is that with the LLB degree, because we are so narrow-minded, you can do a lot. You did a lot with your degree.
You can be a legal advisor, you can be a legal counsel for consultancy, for various companies. You can decide to be a prosecutor if you so wish. You can become a legal practitioner if you so wish, subject, of course, to compliance with the requisite conditions that are being put place by the Legal Practice Council or Legal Practice Act.
Okay, the requisite, guys. Get the requirements, ne? I told somebody in this studio to download a dictionary. Today's the day. All right, then. So you open your chambers.
Yes, they're in Polokwane.
In Polokwane.
That's where I'm practicing from.
Now I'm stalking you, ne? I've been stalked. Even when you reactivate, I'm stalking you. How is an advocate in terms of jurisdiction? How are you able? I'll see you. You are in Mpumalanga. You are in, what's the Free State. You are in Port Elizabeth. I don't know if you were there. I don't remember if it was just a relaxing time or you were
I'm
working.
all over the country.
So as an advocate, you have the ability to, if you're briefed and you have to go there, to go to each and every court in South Africa.
Yeah, an advocate can appear in every court in the country.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, because the last person I sat with, the legal practitioner, was speaking of a care of office, to say as an attorney needs how many, I don't remember how many meters to the court.
Oh yes, the address. I think within 50 kilometers from the court, you need a correspondent attorney there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So now you opened in Polokwane. What do you do in your chambers? What every lawyer, obviously you can do a lot of things, right? But there are those people that you would know, or okay, in this matter, I'm gonna refer them to who's dealing with this.
Well, I think I must just indicate to you that I'm a trust account advocate. I think the first one in Limpopo, the whole of Limpopo.
What's a trust account advocate? It
Well,
sounds
I would
like
say
money.
to simplify
I like
it.
It sounds like money. I like it.
To simplify it, I think you would appreciate the explanation with a bit of background.
Okay.
As you know, advocates are not allowed to take instructions directly from clients.
True.
They are briefed by attorneys. Mm-hmm. Now, with the advent of the Legal Practice Act that came into being not so long, it created a space for the so-called trust account advocates, that is in terms of Section 32 of the Act. Now, trust accounts advocates are doing literally everything that an attorney can do, except for the fact that they cannot act as conveyancers and public notaries. But they can literally do everything. They can take instructions directly from members of the public. But it's subject to these following requirements. They must have done a bookkeeping and passed it. They must have done practice management training and passed it. Then they must make an application for conversion of enrollment from being an ordinary advocate into an advocate with trust account. They are going to be issued with fidelity fund certificate, just like an attorney every year. You've got to subject to your books for auditing. So for me, I call it a double barrel.
Oh, so you can do both.
You're practically an attorney and advocate at the same time.
You can.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm going to look into that. Yeah, I want everything. So, okay, you're a trust advocate, trust holding advocate, fidelity fund advocate. Yeah. So that I want to know that your areas of practice. What is it that you can do? You can do your rough cases, and that's what I want people to know.
I do labor. Mainly that's my specialization. Civil litigation with special focus on construction litigation and the supply chain related matters. I do traditional leadership disputes. That's my other area of specialization. Well,
these people, they fight.
Yeah, they fight a lot.
Are they not a family?
Well, they do. But remember, in terms of the Act, Traditional Leadership and Khoisan Act, for one to be recognized as a senior traditional leader or a king or queen, whatever the case may be, there are certain requirements that must be complied with. There's a certain core within the family that qualifies to recognize one.
As such.
Yes. Remember, when it comes to being a king or queen, the appointment, subject to the recommendation of the family, is done by the president. But when it comes to being a senior traditional leader, the certificate is issued by the premier of the province.
They get certificates.
Of course.
I did not
It's a legal
know.
requirement. It's a recognition certificate.
Okay.
Because otherwise everyone will just mushroom and suddenly
And-
claim to be a king or queen.
all
Or even
right.
a headman for that matter.
So all these people, there's legalities that govern them.
Yes, there's an act of parliament that has been created to specifically cater for that. Initially, we used to have the so-called Traditional Leadership Act. Now, to accommodate the Khoisan community, I've got the Traditional Leadership and Khoisan Act.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I did not know. I'll go and Google, ne? I
Yeah.
promise I'll Google and check. I did not know. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you said you do labor
Yes.
and then you do
Civil litigation, generally, yeah.
Generally, but with special focus on
Construction-related litigation and supply chain-related litigation. But the two are interlinked because in construction you'll have supply chain-related matters, especially where contractors have got to be employed by government to do work for them. When you construct roads, having been appointed by South African Road Agency, obviously there are supply chain processes there, the appointment, the advertisement of tenders and stuff. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, are those the only things you can do? You don't do road accident fund and all those things?
That one I do it when I've been briefed by attorneys to represent them in court. When the matter becomes litigious.
Oh, crap.
Yes.
Okay, then. So, how long have you been in practice as an advocate, trust fund
Well, I was
advocate?
Trust fund advocate, I think it's been 6 years now. But generally, if you were to calculate my experience, I was admitted in 2012 as an advocate. So it's over 10 years.
It's like 12,
Yes.
12 years now.
Yeah, I think it's 12 years.
The maths is saving
I'm not
me.
very good with mathematics. Sometimes it escapes my my right thinking faculties.
I saw when I was stalking you that, are you busy with an MBA?
I completed my MBA in 2017.
Because LinkedIn, I looked at it, I'm like, is he still busy? Is he done?
No, I completed my MBA in 2017.
That's Masters in Business Administration.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
righty.
also wanted to pursue PhD, but time did not allow me to do that. Now you are in full-time in practice, so it's more demanding. But I think one day, given the time, one would pursue doctoral studies.
Okay. I don't have any labor law. Okay. The recent case that I was following or looking at, the famous one with Vodacom, the please call me man.
Yeah.
The please call me man thing. But I didn't have a lot of questions on it because it's open and shut when I looked at it.
Yeah, well, I think for me, it cuts across many areas of the law. You can talk about labor, you can talk about law of contract, you can talk about constitutional rights, the rights conferred to persons by virtue of the Constitution.
On the law of contract, let me interject there.
Yeah.
When I read the facts of the case, they had a verbal agreement. I don't remember where I saw that something was signed down, but the verbal agreement did hold water. He was subject. There was a written one though, where he was subject to receiving a certain percentage, and now he never got it.
But remember, when it comes to agreements, there's no rule that says contracts should be written. The common thing is that it is desirable that contracts be written. In case of disputes, you can be able to produce a document in the form of an signed agreement. But of course, evidence can be led in the absence of a written agreement.
To show that this agreement did happen verbally.
Yes, there are many instances where that can be done. Of course, one would be that, the minutes of the meeting were recorded. There's an electronic recording of the meeting. There's a attendance register where parties signed in their names. There's a lot that can be done to prove that. Yeah,
there was a contract.
But of course, evidence can be given by either of the parties who was a part to that particular meeting where the subject matter was being discussed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Okay. You have been in practice for 12 years. You do certain matters. You don't at all do divorce.
I do divorce matters, but mostly on brief when I've got to appear. But I do. There are those that I've initiated myself that I've finalized. I do divorce matters. I also do burial rights cases where people are fighting over the burial rights. Somebody says, no, you're
Hey,
not
people
entitled to
can fight
burial.
over burial.
Yeah, they do. They do. I've got two judgments that I'm so much proud of
Okay.
that I pursued. Yeah, very interesting.
Where people were fighting for burial rights.
Yeah, in the High Court. It was an application brought on urgent basis. And I
Okay.
was acting for the respondents. And we succeeded on 2 occasions.
If your fellow colleagues want to reach you, they want to brief you,
Yeah.
where are they going to find you? I would like for you to inform them your address, for example, your number, where they're going to find you effectively.
Well, our chambers are at number 6 Hans Van Resnburg Str in Polokwane, Jcj Limpro building. Our telephone number is 015-880-1808. The email address is stephen.monyela@gmail.com.
Okay, I will write it on this video.
Yeah.
Guys, we are still in conversation with the very, very, very educated MBA holder. Hey, Masters of Business Administration holder. Hey, guys, LLB is an honors degree, so he's very, very well traveled also. I wish one day we can talk about that. This man travels, this man works hard and travels as hard as he works, and he is amazing at what he does, because I always see him out. If you're always out having matters, it means you know what you are doing. People wouldn't want to call you if you didn't know what you were doing. There's something else that I saw when I was stalking you, right? Because I stalk you a lot.
Oh,
I
right.
look up to you
Oh, I didn't know.
in a good way.
Of course.
I asked you. I said, when I sent you an email, I asked there at the end, what is NBCSA that you said you're a member of?
Okay, it's a National Bar Council of South Africa.
Yeah.
There are different associations representing advocates. You'll have the General Council of the Bar. You've got different societies of advocates under the constituent bar being the General Council of the Bar. You'll have the Society of Advocates in Pretoria, in Joburg, in Polokwane, we do have. In Mpumalanga, I think they do have. And then you will have PABASA, Pan-African Bar Association, I think, under the leadership of Advocate Sikakani SC. Those are different
Bars.
independent association representing advocates.
Oh, okay. It's like
Yes.
I want to put it in simple terms where the viewers can understand. It's like when I want to strike at work, I have a council that can represent me.
Well, these bars, they conduct training for advocates, like
Oh,
pupilages. When you have got to serve your pupillage, you must do it under a bar.
Okay.
You may decide to do it under any of those bars.
Do you?
In my instance, I even qualified to have a pupil trained under me, under the National Bar Council of South Africa.
How long does it take for one to qualify for that?
I think it's a period of 1 year. Because there are bar exams that needs to be written, or 2 years, in the main.
So now your chambers do qualify for that. It's just a matter of...
Because as a member of the bar, a senior member of our bar, National Bar Council of South Africa, I qualify to have a mentee assigned to me, a pupil assigned to me that I can train.
Please, when you're hiring, please advertise. We are all crying. We're looking for connection. Please, when
it depends on what you're doing, because we're not an attorney's law firm.
Yeah,
It's an advocate's chambers. Of course, I cannot take candidate attorneys.
So you take somebody from university who wants to be an
No,
advocate.
I only have administrative staff. But if somebody wants to learn under me, wants to be exposed to the legal environment,
They're
I
welcome
can
to
have
come
them.
and they're welcome to come and say, can we arrange for me to come and learn from you?
Definitely.
Oh, I'm so glad that your door is open for that.
No, I don't have a problem with that, because I'm from the humble beginnings. I believe that I can take everybody through, and then they can be exposed to the legal environment.
Yeah, because we don't know. We just know this thing. I don't want to say crampers forget. We are just being fed. We are just being fed information. We don't have any practicality there of As for me, the only time I've been in a court academically was when in my first year, when they sent me there to say I must go to the court manager and observe what the prosecutor does, the magistrate does, how they are greeted, how the legal representatives get into the court. That's when I learned they always show respect from the door.
It's a very interesting. There was a point where I was the acting magistrate there in Palabra, Namahale. I would have students from universities escorted to my office by the prosecutors. They would come to say, well, Your Worship, this one wants to come and do observations. He's from UNISA. She's from blah, blah, wherever. I'll tell you, it's fine. They will come in my court. They can come sit and do the observations.
So if really this goes back to my first statement to say that if you want to make it in the industry without connection, you need to be a self-starter.
You need to be a self-starter. Self-exposure for me, it's the best. Because for me, it reflects a hungry somebody, somebody who sees themselves through the mirror of success and are prepared to pay the price. Because they're two different things. You may aspire to become somebody else, but the question is, are you prepared to walk the talk? Are you prepared to pay the price?
Yeah.
Paying the price is very different. I'll tell you something painful during our university days. I didn't have an instance where it could be said that, well, it's month and Steve would receive money from his parents. I didn't have such. Even when I passed my trick, I knew there was nobody who was going to take me to the university. I knew that.
So how were the
I
fees
had to
paid?
do well in my trick.
Oh,
When I got to university, there was a bursary where they registered me for free on the basis of my matric performance. And then the other years I applied for a JUTA bursary that saw me through. And then there was they call it NSFAS now. Then we used to call it TEFSA.
Okay.
And then we went through. That's how I went through. So, but I enjoyed myself though, because this is how I used to generate money to invest. I would write assignments for my fellow classmates. When I got to the third year, final year, I was qualifying to invigilate the first year and second year students.
Yes.
And then per course or per subject of invigilation, you'll get something. That's how I made money.
That's how
Yes.
you...
And by the way, I regret nothing.
No, look at you now.
I regret
You should
nothing.
not. You should
Those
not
things
regret.
belt me. Sometimes I look at myself and say, had it not been for those circumstances which may be perceived as hard ones, I would have probably not been here. I'm not a fan of things being delivered to me on a silver platter. I believe in working for something that I want to get by all means possible. That's why I usually say to myself, I write my own story. There's nobody who can tell a better story about Sagwadi without Sagwadi.
Yeah, true.
People sometimes cross that line. And this is how I treat people. I study you and what you like. If I see you're a gossiper, I'll give you something beautiful to gossip about, but you must know it's not true. I'm just giving you in accordance with your own social devilish skills.
You know why I'm
Then
laughing?
I would give you that.
You know why I'm laughing?
Yeah.
Because I grew up, I was inspired by Kidula Muzamklop.
Yeah.
There where we see
Yeah.
the only person that was there before Sibasa was Mutsika.
Yes.
I just wanted to be like him. So obviously,
the great man used to be my high school principal.
yeah, he was
At
a
some
very
point
good
when he
man.
was doing SLB with UNISA, I was doing my studies, preparing for my matric examinations. We would sit in the same class studying. He would update me about everything.
About what he's doing with school.
Yeah.
And then we're in university and where then
He was
you're
the
preparing for your
principal.
matric.
He was the principal. And I was in the SRC. So
You were both in leadership roles.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm laughing when you say if you're a gossiper, I'll tell you what you want to hear. I'm laughing at the fact that I had few role models. Like I had you, I had him first, and then I had you. I had never seen you. I'd never sat with you. I've never been in your presence. Whether I get somewhere social, I've never been in your presence.
Yes.
It's only today, right?
Yeah.
But we know, when you look at a person, you take what you want from them. We know all those things that you're saying. You know what I'm saying, right? We know them, but I never got on that bicycle and rode off. I said, this man, he's too great to be this empty person that we hear about, or whatever stories that, like we all have empty stories. But I'm so grateful, Gore. you took your time and you managed to come and sit with me in my podcast
Yeah,
as
sure.
it begins, because tomorrow when I say my podcast is so big, I will say there was a guy from Bulobedi who came
sure.
and he shared with us things that most students need to know, because everybody's crying for connection. They don't know how it's done. And I'm so happy that today I got somebody who can tell you straight, this is what I've done. This is what happened. There's a group on Facebook at Candidate Attorney. There's a lot of people who are, I don't know, weak-minded, or they want to be babied. They're always saying principals are toxic. What was your experience with your principal?
Well, the experience was quite good. It was, it had taken the turn of brotherhood.
Oh, okay.
I had found a brother in Mr. Mahua. You know, that guy, struggle coming from poor background. I remember I only had one trouser. That one could put on
And go to court.
and go to court. Then he said to me, it was during those times, man, study True Words and stuff. He said to me, look, I've got a True Words account that I'm not using. It has got so much buying power. And you must take it, go to True Words and take clothes. I went there. Then he said to me, because I was traveling by bus. He said, no, man, there's a flat. I can rent you a flat, because I can see you are a hard worker.
Yes.
So that we can narrow the gap, the distance, so that you can be within close proximity with the office. Well, I did not take that offer, because I just enjoyed my traveling, going home every day and stuff. But it was a good relationship. And trust me, today my ex-principal briefs me on high court matters.
Because of
Is
the relationship you developed and because
Yeah.
of your hard work.
Yeah.
So this notion that we are this generation, psychologist side generation, who see psychologists for each and everything. The way I'm seeing, you find somebody who commented 6 months, they're like, I'm looking for a company to sit on, a firm to sit on, to sit my articles at. I'm doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I've always, every time I sit with somebody, I ask them about their experience, because I want to understand that are these people horrible, or are people just being lazy?
Well, my approach would be very simple. There's no nice place. Now, the question is, when you are faced with a challenging situation, be it toxic and otherwise, how do you dissolve the toxicity that comes with the environment you find yourself in? I think, well, personally, hard work defeats everything. There's no one who can just ill-treat somebody who is delivering for their office. They would want to retain those people. They'd want to keep them. Now, the mentality that characterizes the majority of young people today, they are used to having things being delivered to them.
That's true.
They do not
we want
believe,
copy and paste lifestyle.
they do not believe in hard work. And that speaks to the nature and the character of the role models we have today. Look at what they're doing. It's a very beautiful thing.
Thank you.
It exposes people. It is educational as far as I'm concerned, because your viewers, they would be lawyers, the students, the pupils.
Yes.
They would look at these kind of things, listen to them, watch these things, and get inspired. I don't want to mention names, but the modern day celebrity is not good enough for the development of humans' intellectual arsenal. It is more coined towards entertainment, which entertainment, in any case, is devoid of any constructive thing. So we lack proper, serious role models today. We don't have those things, those people.
No, now
anymore.
we want to be relevant. Now it's relevant.
Yes.
There's no time to do
We don't
anything that's
we don't
productive.
invest in time. We're too much impatient with ourselves. You want to work today, and then tomorrow you want to have a very big house and
You want to do all those things.
luxurious cars and everything. It all boils down to investment. You must invest in time. But after all, the main thing for me, my grandmom used to say, follow your passion. If you're passionate about something, it will attract a lot of things. If you are a brilliant legal practitioner who is dedicated to their work, it will attract money, if money is all you want. But your primary goal should not be money. focus and passion must permeate all these other things.
True. True. Because with passion, I agree with you there. I remember when I told them at home, I want to do law, everybody was just like, where are you going to work? There's no lawyer here. There's no. I'm telling you that this, when did I first register? What did my statement say? 2014. I was dropping in and out of the university because of funds. I had no funds. But there is no day that I ever got back to school.
It's not
and
about
said,
how you start, it's how you end it.
Yeah. So I never went to when I got to the university and say, no, let me just do teaching. No, it's fine. I'm not finishing this thing. No, passion will get you there. I'm not even when I'm sitting down, I know that I can go and get articles and they say, we're giving you 6,000. I'm a mom. I've got kids. I'm not worried. I know I will come up. I will make a plan. Everything will come together. I'm not worried about the money. So I agree with that statement that say the drive should not be money only.
And our young people must get rid of a competitive mind. Because Sagwadi is doing this, I can do it better than her. The most critical person that you should be in competition with, it's yourself.
It's to better yourself.
Yes. Strive to be the best person you were yesterday. Somebody asked me this question, how do you define success? Well, I said to them, success is relative. It's very relative. If yesterday I could not access, if I didn't have lights in my house, I was using candles because I could not afford lights, having my house electrified. But today, as a result of the employment that I've secured, I'm able to electrify my house. That is success.
Yeah.
Because I have moved from a position of inability to a position of ability. Right? Now, we have got a tendency of looking at success through wrong lenses. Somebody drives here with a Ferrari. See, that is success. Relative to what? Relative to what? It's personal. It's a personal thing, success.
Yeah, because
and you're not going
different
to come
things.
to me and define success according to your own perception and your own understanding and backgrounds. Because I'm in a competition with myself.
All right then. So, we do labor law. We do general civil litigation. We take in some instructions.
Traditional leadership stuff,
Yeah, people can come to you. Ordinary me can come to you, listen to what they have to say, to see if it's something that you need an attorney to see at, or you. Well, you're saying ordinary people can approach you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to the important stuff. If I want to approach you, me, Sagwadi, how much is it to come to your office? Because I know there's no free legal advice in South Africa.
There isn't, unfortunately.
So how much is your consultation fee? I'm not saying this to chase away people. There are people who think consultation fee, it's 1 million rand. Before we get to 1 million rand, that 1 million rand, you're getting it for some sort of instruction of, there's a need for it. But to start to say, no, I'm coming to the Monyela chambers, how does it go?
Between 1,000 and 3,000 rand.
Imagine, because of 1,000, I could not go see a lawyer. I mean, people think to see a lawyer, you have to have 6,000 to talk to them.
No. You see, this is how I treat
cases.
Some cases you come across them during consultations that, no, you know what, with this case, given my passion, well, I'm speaking for Stephen, by the way.
Yes.
Given my passion and where I want to go, I think this case has got the potential to create a very serious precedent, something uncharted territories in the legal fraternity.
Yes.
I'll do that with passion and forget about the money because I want to be part of that history making.
Okay.
You understand? So I weigh cases, but sometimes money must be human because we are because of others.
True.
You look at this lady, she doesn't have the means. For example, the husband has got the means, they are divorcing. It's a poor woman, she doesn't know what to do. She has discovered yesterday that her husband is resigning or has resigned from his place of employment,
Yes.
and the divorce proceedings are ongoing. The summons have been instituted. Now you realize that, no, man, what is going to happen here is that this guy, because he's just resigned yesterday, is going to take up his own pension. And this lady may, by the time we conclude the divorce proceedings, the pensions would have been exhausted.
Yes.
Now, what do you do under those circumstances as a reasonable lawyer who is not only driven by money, but by passion for the work?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can quickly obtain an urgent interdict, ex parte, and interdict the pension fund scheme from processing the payments of that person. So will you wait for that lady to go and get money?
To come and pay for that.
To come and pay for that? You can
By
do
the
that.
time it's too late.
Yeah, but so you would have denied somebody justice. Because I think as a lawyer, you are an important player towards the realization of justice.
True.
Yes. So we're easily fooled by money. Unfortunately, that is the nature of the world today. It's
But
money.
where we
money.
can do a bit of Ubuntu, we can just practice it.
People will come to you, they can see that, no, man. Of course, I'm not talking about being taken advantage of.
True.
There are serious cases where you can use your own intuition, you can be able to assess that here there are no means, but there are merits in this person's case.
Yes.
We can get something, we'll sit down, we'll reduce everything to an agreement that upon successful prosecution or execution of this mandate, this is how much we'll pay it. To an extent that you do not have money now, it's fine. I agree with you, we'll proceed with this case. I think that's how we can build a fair society.
So people must not be afraid to come to the office, book an appointment, if you have a slot, see you and say what's not. From as little as 1,000 rand. You know, I want people to know all of this. I get Rena, 90s. 90s and 2000s, we are woke and we bully each other on the social media and all those
But
things.
sometimes this being woke, it's not really carefully looked at.
No, it's not. It's being misused. Misused. People sometimes what is needed is legal advice. It's not only, okay, I want to give an instruction. If I have that 1.5 or whatever, I can call to find out, hello, sir, I have a little, hello to your secretary, I have a little problem I would like to consult for that 30 minutes. I think it's per 30 minutes, right? And then to come and get that legal advice where you can tell me, okay, this is simple. If you don't have the means, approach. If it's me and my baby daddy, for example, approach the maintenance court. This is what you're going to do. That's free. That's legal advice.
Yes. Obviously, we are not legal aid.
Yeah. No, we are not.
But I think being a lawyer for me, it's a calling. There are two kinds of lawyers. Lawyers because they want to pursue a career, and those who are called to become lawyers. Now, those who are called to become lawyers would, to a greater extent, have that accommodative spirit.
Yeah.
Because lawyering, it's about being the voice of the voiceless, championing the rights of those who cannot stand up for themselves. I'm telling you the truth. If you identify poor communities and help them legally, why should they not bring clients to you?
Hey, they will. That's true. They will.
But you don't have to be that kind of an uptight lawyer where
you're unapproachable.
Yes, of course, there are fees to be paid, there are salaries to be paid and everything to be paid. But you must at least be approachable.
Anyway, I am so grateful that you came today. We have since ran out of time, but I want you for one last time to tell the briefing attorneys and the community, where can Stephen Monyela chambers be found? How do they contact you?
Yes, once more, we're based in Polokwane at number 6 Hans Van Resnburg Str at Jcj Limpro building. Our telephone number is 015-880-1808. My cell phone number is, I don't hide it, it's 081-038-4792. We are there on LinkedIn. We're also there on Instagram. Facebook, I've been shying away from it. I deleted my account in 2019. I tried to come back early this year. And then I ran away because the same devilish tendency was doing it. So I don't think, I find Facebook to be toxic.
All right. Yeah. There you have it, guys. Those are the contact details that I'm going to put on the description box, put on this video, obviously, for you to be able to contact him. All the lawyers in Polokwane, there's no need for you to suffer. You've got a trust fund advocate there.
Trust
by
account.
Trust account. Oh, I'm thinking of Fidelity Fund.
No, of course you've got to have Fidelity Fund certificate, the FFC, yes.
Yeah. So you have him there to help you. And
Seriously.
anybody who's got any of those issues, divorce, maintenance, he does general civil litigation. It means he covers a lot of things. So he will be able to assist your clients when you brief him. He'll be able to assist an ordinary person like me approaching him. So that is all for today, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the next episode of Legal Podcast SA. Mwah.